I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Star Wars sequel trilogy, there's been a lot of problems, not just with The Last Jedi, but also with The Rise of Skywalker by Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, and more. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, if you guys have been following me for a very long time, you will know my take on The Rise of Skywalker is that I really do believe that it's an entertaining movie at best. I don't really necessarily think it's a great Star Wars film. I think it's just a watchable Star Wars movie. It's better than that of The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens combined. And it also has a lot of scenes that I love and hate. It's really like an emotional roller coaster for me. And a lot of people felt the same out there, but also a lot of people felt the complete opposite. There's a lot of fans out there who completely despise The Rise of Skywalker and hate exactly everything about it, and that's perfectly fine. You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and that's all welcome here below in the comments if you guys want to go ahead and express that. Now, when we look at Disney has done with the sequel trilogy, of course, we do know that Episode 9 was an attempt in order to really bring back a lot of fans. This is the main reason as to why they titled it The Rise of Skywalker, to get fans into the theater seats. It's also one of the main reasons as to why Palpatine returned in Episode 9, is because they wanted to give the fans a reason to actually go ahead and see this movie, to actually have a familiar villain in Episode 9. So when you look at everything that has been done by Disney, obviously what's really intriguing about all of this now, of what they are doing with their new EU, is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are moving on to their new Star Wars universe, also known as the new Expanded Universe, that will bring fans into a new mythology of the Star Wars franchise. Now, one of the big plans by Disney right now is to satisfy the fans who have had issues with the sequel trilogy era, where it's noted that one of the big plans by Disney is to make many changes and retcons to the sequel trilogy films with their new Star Wars universe that is going to change how the fans watch the movies. One of the plans by Disney is to have Dave Filoni to be a part and a major role in writing many of the retcons for The Rise of Skywalker in this new Star Wars universe that is going to reach its peak next year in 2021, that will change many aspects of The Rise of Skywalker in the forms of books, novels, comics, and even other forms of visual canon material that Dave Filoni will have creative control over and will be writing for Lucasfilm to retcon The Rise of Skywalker in various ways. Now, it's noted that this will also have some form of an impact on the structure of some of the core characters. However, Disney plans to build the characters in a positive way for the fans to enjoy, and that Disney is in full damage control to fix aspects of Star Wars Episode 9 to create a better future for Star Wars moving forward with their new expanded universe. Dave Filoni will begin work on these retcons sometime in Q4 of 2020, just before the new year begins, and that these retcons of The Rise of Skywalker mostly will be the major focus by Disney in order to patch aspects of the sequels and to leave behind a better legacy with Star Wars. So let's go over many aspects of this, okay? Because we do know that Kathleen Kennedy, she's very incompetent as head of Lucasfilm. The thing is that Bob Iger is leaving next year in 2021. Obviously, Disney wants to leave behind a great legacy for Star Wars. And Dave Filoni, mind you, is a visionary. He's amazing. It's one of the main reasons as to why I love Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars. I'm getting very excited for the Clone Wars Season 7. That's going to drop in just a couple of days from now on Disney+, so looking forward to that. Now, the thing about Dave Filoni is that Dave Filoni knows his Star Wars lore, and for him to be a part of these retcons for The Rise of Skywalker, I would say that I'm not really all too worried about it, I'll be honest. I'm not quite sure exactly, what they're really going to retcon, if they're going to be minor or major aspects of the movie, but they are going to be parts of the film that are going to be rather crucial for the Star Wars fans, that's really going to have a major impact on some of the core characters. Now, when you look at Dave Filoni, obviously, George Lucas loves Dave Filoni. He's actually the man who approved many of Dave's ideas for the Star Wars universe, for the Star Wars lore, and that was one of the major, keys here by George Lucas, was that he wanted Dave Filoni to essentially run a lot of the Star Wars lore moving forward into the Star Wars future. And that's exactly what now Disney wants to do with Dave Filoni. They want him to be in charge of all the different changes that are being made to the Star Wars universe, and also to create brand new Star Wars, lore. They're going to be bringing back Star Wars Legends, which of course Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau will be a part of as well. Looking forward to that as well. I cannot wait. The first step was already done. They made Darth Revan canon, Darth Plagueis' master, Darth Trinobus, and other characters out there that have been made canon. So they're really trying their very best to please not just the hardcore fans, but also casual fans alike around the world, in order to also create brand new Star Wars fans to create this, ever-evolving cycle. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding from night to moon.